Hey guys, Mr. Riz here to help you guys out on the 233 part one, where we are going to create a new material in CAD. So right now I have just an open blank document here on CAD, and our goal here today is to make sure we understand like how we can assign a material to a product or to a design, and then also be able to edit that material to not only just change the way that it looks, but the way that it also performs and change its actual physical properties that it has. So it's good to make sure, Fusion is really nice. We can build designs here, but kind of the next step in engineering is not only changing the look so we can make it aesthetically look the way that we want it to, move the way that we want it to do, but actually have it physically perform and do some tests on it before that actually happens. So typically what we are going to do here is to look at it versus appearance and versus physical properties. So let's first just take any build that we have. And if you don't have anything you like, you can always go to our folder here, and towards the bottom, there's the Vex library. It has a bunch of different stuff that we can use. I'm going to go to motion here, and I'm just going to pick some gear. I'll kick this worm wheel. That looks pretty nice. And I'm going to press OK to leave it right there. Now, one thing we are going to have to do if you are using a Vex library, even any of yours, we're going to have to right click on it, and you're going to have to break the link. That way, because we are going to make some changes to this design here, that change will not affect the actual document that's here. We don't want to actually change everything about this wheel for our example here. So if we used it in different models, we don't want that to change as well. Okay, the other thing we're going to have to do is kind of check our preferences here. So your preferences might have been just default from before, but we want to make sure in here we take our time and actually go through and change some of our preferences. So I'm going to right click on my profile up here in the top right corner and click preferences. Brings up this page here. I know this might be small to see, but you might have to zoom in. We got all these different things. We're going to go to kind of default units here. So probably design, we're going to be in inches. That's typically how we go. Our manufacturing, we can go to millimeters. That's fine. Now simulation units here. So we can kind of do this custom one. Our length, let's have that be, that's fine in millimeters. Our mass, kg, I think that's pretty good. Time, seconds, is good. Now our force, I believe we can leave this in newtons. Our pressure, what we're going to change pressure to is psi. Our temperature, we're going to change to Fahrenheit. Our energy, let's see, joules. Yeah, joules are fine. Trying to look to see what's going on. We might have to go back and change these. Power, I think we're going to do BTUs per second. Acceleration. Yeah, I think those are all meters per second squared. Flow rate, I don't think we need to affect this at all. Angle, degrees is good. Velocity, meters per second. Viscosity, I'm looking over here on a chart. It's all good. We'll apply those and click OK. We might have to go back and change that. So let's first talk about how we can change the material. So on this property, as long as it's not linked, we don't see that little link, we can right click on it and go to physical material. We have this huge library here of different things that we can do. So I can go through and I can make this, out of metal, or I can pick different classes. And we did this a little bit already. If I want to make this out of solid gold, I can click and drag. Now I have solid gold. Eventually change the way that it looks as well. There we go. Sometimes you got to do that twice. Now, if we go to our plastics here, plastic is typically what we 3D print everything out of. And we have a lot of lists of plastics. We got ABS, which we can use in the 3D printer. We have nylon, which we have, but what we don't see, our most common 3D printed material is PLA. And if we don't have that, what we can always do is to then make it. So I'm going to go over to something that's pretty close. ABS is probably the second most common 3D printer filament that we use. I'm going to apply it on here. And if you guys look, we actually have ABS plastic listed now in our design. Now I've used it in multiple designs, so that's why it's kind of popping up again here. But we don't have PLA. So here's kind of be the trick. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take a material that's pretty close. Technically, we can do any material. We would just be changing a whole lot more. And I'm going to change that. Do I want to do, yeah, ABS is good. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to right click on this and click duplicate. So now I have ABS plastic 2. I think I actually have a plastic 1 and plastic 2. And I'm going to change a couple things about it. So this new material that we copied, ABS plastic 2, I'm going to right click on it and click edit. The first thing that pops up is the name of it and its density, which if I knew that, I would change it, but I'm going to leave the density the same. I think ABS and, other ones are pretty close. So edit here. I'm going to now change the name of this to PLA. Click done. So now it says PLA here. All right, now if I click edit again, we can see advance. And this is going to bring up a huge window. So we can say, okay, first off, the description, PLA or 3D printer. That's typically what we have in our 3D printers. They're the cheapest material that we go. Next tab here is our appearance. So this is what it looks like. Our 3D printer has tons of different colors. So if we wanted to, I could go ahead, click this, and click what color I want. Maybe this nice sky blue. Click OK. I could change some things about its translucentness, its depth, the reflection. I haven't messed around with Photoshop too much, but it's all pretty good. I can click apply. Physical materials. Here's what we're going to look at. Now, on Canvas, you can see we're going to try to copy over the physical materials that are listed here on this, and we might have to change some of our units. And that's going to be okay, and we can do that. We'll do what we need to, and then kind of go back and forth. So let me see kind of what's matching up here versus what. I can't have them both pulled up, so I'm going to split screens here. Okay, our thermal conductivity is not in the right units here. What about, no, those are all messed up. What about our PSI expansion? Oh, those are all in GPA, not PSI. I guess I could change this ratio to 0.39. That's one thing I know. That's not the right unit. That's not in the right unit. Dampening coefficient. No, that should be at 0. Let's see. Yield strength. That needs to be in PSI. Why was that? Did I not save? Let me click apply and go back. Close this up. Okay. Right click preferences. Pressures PSI. I'm going to pause this while the kids are being loud. All right, what I'm going to do, I think it was fine, but in the unit and value display, what I'm also going to change is material unit display. That's the issue here. So I should address this right at the beginning. We're going to change that to the English standard. Like apply, and then okay. So now if I go to my PLA edit, click advance. There we go. Let's see. Is it still messing up? We're still in different units. The heck? Let me pause this video and try to figure out how to get this right. Oh, I got this figured out now. There was just new updates. So we're going to go to preferences here. The biggest thing that you guys want to do in your default units here, in your simulation and generated design, just change the default units to English. Okay. Don't worry about doing a custom one here. If you do custom, it's better just let's leave it as English. Click apply. Click OK. Now, some of these things we can change just a little bit, but it's going to be close enough here to what's going to be on. So let's go through here, do materials again. All right, I'm going to go through edit my PLA, advanced and physical. We're just going to type in the numbers now. I'm seeing a couple of these units are a little different. But if we type these in, it's not going to be that bad. Okay, 1.044 E should be minus 4. So this is just kind of practicing here. I mean, to be in all honest, it's not going to make that big of a difference for your design here, but just showing you if we had the time or we had the numbers. Right there. I messed this up by using the scroll wheel. I think I did. Must be changed, converted automatically here. I'm not going to sweat about that then too. If they're going to do some automatic changes here, let's see, this should be 5.070 plus 5 KSI. See, changing these numbers, just matching them what's on canvas. So, 2.4. Go, and then we got yield strength here. Okay, good. Tensile strength is actually a little bit higher. 250. And then we'll click apply. Okay. So now we got our new material, and all we have to do, we can see PLA, we click and drag it on there. Now we have our new material. Now, if we want, what we can do, if this is going to be material we use over and over again, we can right click on this and click add to favorites. And now that will be in our favorites folder. So we can look here and click favorites, and we got PLA. So this is a good way to use commonly used material. So what you guys will be turning in, you guys are going to make your new material, and with your design, and you guys will submit this Fusion document when you guys get done. Sorry about the confusion with the units at the beginning, but hopefully you guys saw this and it wasn't too bad. All right, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you for the next assignment. Have a good one.